Generic greetings, and once again welcome back to Prison Architect. In the previous episode, we had a lot of things happen. So we built the dormitory and obviously got the population for that. We had, I wouldn't call it escape attempt, rather we found the tunnel network, and it was a fairly extensive network, if not a bit chaotic. It was sort of like an underground hedge maze. It was a little bit interesting to say the least. And we also did some talking to confidential informant who informed us quite rightly, and something we already knew, that the ex-law enforcement people were sort of under threat, which, yeah, fair enough. That's why they're in protective custody. In this episode, at a minimum, we want to get this dormitory done, so we will crack on with that, and I will do that using the clone tool. If we go over to the quick build and to clone, we will crack on with this. Speaking of the clone tool, there was a comment left quite a while ago now on one of the videos mentioning the clone tool and basically offering up a challenge, saying that why don't we try and build a prison that only uses the quick build stuff, so the quick build kitchen and canteen and luxury cell and things like that. And I actually think that's a really cool idea. It wouldn't work because you've got things like the classroom and common room and such, and you don't have the things like chapel and parole. You don't have those in there. But the bulk of the prison you could, I think, easily do with this. And I think at some point we might do a mini-series on just using the quick build. But this is our main priority for now. I mean, there's still plenty to go in this prison. We have to extend Oop North and get the high risk. We need to extend this building to the left, increase our protective custody, and there's loads of things we have to do. So I'm not too worried about us running out of things to do here. Let's just quick check in here. We've got someone turning up and they are strong, and there's someone called Ghost. David, practically Ghost. 9707502. No one knew who this guy was. He was only known to the public as Practically Ghost. Fair enough. Bodies of gang leaders and mob bosses would show up. Single-handedly took down criminal empires. He met his match attempting to take out his rival, the Ghost. Okay. Sentenced 26 years for multiple crimes, including aggravated burglary and burglary. Cool. That's a thing, apparently. Good old naming games. So, this is the dormitory getting filled. As you can see, we're going to receive... Oh, a problem. See that there? It says 11 minimum, 11 normal. That's because this thing has not been assigned as the right room. Even though the rest of it was, because of... game. Anyway, right, let's run this down. And then oop. There we are. And there's all that. We already have the lighting in. We just need to put the patrols in. So guard patrol goes... it's a little bit more difficult to do now because I haven't got the guides in for the other stuff, but should be alright. There. And there. And there. I know that's correct because you can't build it there. See, it's a wall. It allows me to build it there. This green bit on the right, that's because that's a doorway, and you can have patrols through doorways. Not recommended because it means the doors open and close all the time, which we've got automatic door openers and stuff, so it's not a big problem here, but it can become a little bit of an issue. So we still keep going back while we're building this here. Let's focus on, for a start, there's some traits. Yeah, there are some traits. Nothing great. For a start, we need to get another phone tap put in, I think. Let's do that. Utilities, let's just check the power grid. Power grid is perfectly fine. So phone tap, we're going to get another phone tap in. I'm going to connect these phones up. So connect wires from that one to... where we're going to connect it to. Well, this one does the protective custody and the one up here. That's fine. That's okay. In fact, actually, these ones... what is our capacity now? We have a maximum capacity of 72 for the low risk, for the minimum security. So that's something we'll have to check out. Does that mean... I was going to switch over the other phone tap to... for the low risk do this and the low risk stuff. But no, because we've got more prisoners, it wouldn't make much sense. Because it means more work. So we're just going to place all these like so. And there we go. There's our phone taps put in. So hopefully we'll find out more information there. So as I was saying, there was some talk about maybe altering this room. So we'd go, say, along there and then down there. But then even then, we'd still be on a 4x5. Is that some tasers? Was a taser going off there? Yeah. But even then, it wouldn't be good enough. And we could do this. We could extend it down a little bit and shift all this down by one, but it's just not going to happen. It's just for the library and the mail room, which all the mail's sorted. It never gets. I don't think it ever gets delivered. At least I've never seen it get delivered. Although I keep saying that, and to be honest with you, maybe I've just missed it while I was doing other things. But it does highlight a problem that we just don't have the room. There is another option, and we could use this. Obviously, this is where we currently have the yard. We could easily go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and do that and have a room there and a room there, and then have this as the yard and just have the entrance to the yard there. I don't like that idea. I really don't like that idea. But it is a possibility. The other possibility is to do it from the middle, but then there's no real middle, so that's going to be even sloppier. So, we'll see. So, as before, these things here are not graded. So it means that... Where is our dog handlers? I've got dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have 12 dog patrols. I have 12 dog units. So why on earth... Oh, because the dogs are sleeping. The issue with the dogs is that they need to sleep, which is understandable, and also the staff have needs, so they actually spend a lot of their time just not working. So, why are they sniffing in there? So this dog handler, for example, has just been on break, but the dog's tired. So they are going to head back to the kennel. Oh no, they're having to wander outside. No, now they're heading back to the kennel. Yeah. Anyway. So, it's currently sleep time, shakedown, with us finding a tunnel. I think it's best that we do a full shakedown. Don't think we'll catch it this day, though. We still have the prisoners demand less work on the go, which means a lot of our programs are, well, not running. There's the tunnel! Yep, and there's the kickoff. Low risk, not the case. Lockdown. They are low risk, which means they should easily be pacified. Especially when there's a dog unit on the go. That's our lockdown. I'll turn off lockdown because, as you saw, it stops the guards getting out. And there we are. There's the tunnel. They've only been in here a day. It's just going to happen. There's such a high bias assigned to the dormitories that you just have to expect that is going to happen, which is why we've got a dog unit. So these were tunneling down to the outside, and then they'll tunnel to the left. And it means that we probably have to think about upping... Certainly we have to think about having a dog unit around here. And maybe even one around there. But we'll see. We'll see. So obviously a lot of people are going to be assigned to these protective custody. Strangely, a bit of a quirk of the game here, that the way we've got this set up, just see if any of these can be... No, none can be confidential informant. A quirk of the game is that because these are generally playing by the rules, there's been, the odd fight and someone almost killed her, and someone definitely killed here. We've had all of that, but relatively speaking, it's not too bad. The thing is, just double check. Have I got all the? Yeah, I've got all the metal detectors. Yeah, relatively speaking, it's been not too bad. So punishment-wise, we've never had to fill this up. All right, there's been, I think, a handful of people that have been put in solitary at one time in here. However, this one, the low risk, that has a higher probability of being overfilled and over capacity and people waiting to go in there, because when people try to dig out from a dormitory, it's like a group effort, so multiple people start to dig out. And I don't know how they managed to do it with a patrol there. Now, we do have a patrol, so how they managed it, I have no idea. We've got some money from early release of people. We are now receiving, or have received, a bunch of prisoners. Let's just go over to intelligence and informants, and we can see that we have a legendary prisoner. And we also have a snitch. So, snitch Adam Grant. We will assign you to protective custody. And we've got some unknown traits and quick, and also somebody we can't click on. Paul Ashby, is that correct? Yes, it is. Paul Ashby, prisoner number 9779973, sentenced 29 years for multiple crimes including arson, criminal damage and perjury. Okay, they've served 5.6 years of their 29-year sentence, and they've already had previous sentences of aggravated burglary and burglary. So, yeah. So their character is legendary. This prisoner is a legend in the criminal underworld. Yes, they are. There they are. Legendary. Oh, see if I can get back to them. Legendary. So, they have the traits of extremely strong, extremely tough, extremely volatile. That in itself is a problem. Stokel, fearless instigator, expert fighter and gang member. So, we have an issue. They are a gang member. Oh, no. They are a gang leader. Right. That has just kicked the difficulty up on this campaign a lot. They have 3 rings. They are a leader. We have a legendary gang leader. Something which I have not seen before. Which means this cell block is about to be pretty much overrun by red gang members. They will start to recruit red gang members. We'll also assign someone to be the lieutenant, and they will start taking over the yard and the common room. See that? See? Soldiers. You need 3 of them there. And the way you get it back is by assigning guards to them. This is going to require some micromanagement. So I have a couple of options here. I could, potentially, try and take them out of the running by assigning them to low risk. That would mean we have a low risk gang in here. But it'll be loads of low risk people recruited as gang members. The other option, which is far more likely for me to do, is to assign them as protective custody, which means they'll be able to wander around here. And that's it. The problem is that they're extremely tough, strong, and volatile. And fearless. And expert fighter. So they will be targeting these people anyway. So we can't have that. So, actually, the only solution is to let them go in here. And we're going to have to deal with the end result. We knew this would happen eventually. We knew that putting on gangs is a big risk when you get gang members coming in and whatnot. And as soon as you get leaders, then that is where it kicks it up. It's not having gangs in the prison is actually not really an issue at all until you have leaders. It used to mean that you couldn't build on tiles, but you can do that now anyway. So yeah, at least I think you can. We haven't had any problems previous, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on this prisoner. So Mr. Ashby is on the watch list. So we have a lot of guards which are wandering around taking prisoners to cells. I'm going to hire some more guards. There we go. And the question now is, do I want to have armed guards? We've always had 2 armed guards and they've always been sitting around here. I am not going to assign the armed guards just yet. we'll assign them when we need to. So if a lot of this stuff gets taken over, or there's gang fights, then we will assign around here the armed guards. It's a shame because this was the best graded prison we've had ever, with 9% reoffending. I think punishment was 7, reform was up to 6, security was 2, and health was on 0 or 1. I think that was the total. Something. It was good. It was very, very good. No deaths in custody. I mean, even now, still 14%. It's not too bad. Deaths in custody 0, and paroled early is 35 with a 0% reoffending rate. So that's excellent. It's just that obviously with the increased gang violence in here and other things, it's become a bit of an issue. What is not an issue is that the Prisoners Demand Less Work event is going to be finished in a couple of seconds, so that's good. I'm glad that's over and done with. And there we go. So the prisoners have settled down about working, so that's fine. So what I'm going to do is go to reports, go to our regime, and obviously we want to set all of this to working. And I'll wait until it is finished here and then to eat time. And then I will reschedule all of these programs. And there we go. So there we go. We now have double scheduled. Now if I go to edit schedule, we can see that we do have parole med and parole min in both the classroom. Parole med and min set correctly, as is the classroom. It's done that correctly as well, foundation and general. Infirmary mid and max, yes, and there's a problem. Infirmary, min-max. Common room med and common room protective custody. No. So hang on, common room med. What is common room min then? Right, that alcoholics group should be shifted to there. No teachers exist for this program. No, they don't. They're right about that, and the reason they don't is because you have to have a psychologist for every area. So that means that what we'll do is we will clone. We won't clone actually. What we'll do is we'll say office, and we're going to place that as an office, and that as an office, and we're finally going to build these. So it requires an office desk, requires a couple of chairs, like that, and it requires a filing cabinet. Okay. And we'll go to quick build clone, and we'll clone that. It should clone the plan. It did not clone the plan at all. So we'll get rid of that. Everything but what I was trying to remove. There we go. So office again. What? No, they've actually removed that wall because of because of I placed a bit of flooring there. Hey ho. That's now set anyway. So that's an interesting one, and we're still losing money because these prisoners don't give you much money at all, and we've obviously got a lot of people in here, so we might have to just increase this again, and maybe, well, for a start we're going to make some staff cuts. There's cuts there. That's I think the bare minimum that we can make. There we go. So that office is now placed. What I'm going to do is go and remove the psychologist's office. They will then assign themselves to an office. There we go. We've got that psychologist's office there. That's exactly what we wanted. And then we'll do that there. And then we'll also get another psychologist, which means they will be assigned to that once that's built. And that now means we have 2 psychologists, and this one that says no teacher will now hopefully change. Reschedule. That's wrong. Edit schedule. There we go. Done. It's glitched out a bit, I think. Why can't we run it there? It says, no teachers exist for this program. We have 2 teachers. We do have 2 teachers. Here's a test. Sack 'em. Reschedule. Edit. No, you do still require 2 for some reason. Can you see that the alcoholics group is there and the alcoholics group is there? So they are offset. And they should, that's work/free time, so they should still go in there. However, is there any other treatment that they are doing? They're doing alcoholics group therapy, but they're not doing behavioural therapy. So, yes, this teacher in the med sec is only teaching between 10 and 12, and between 12 and 1, this person is teaching. You'd think that this person, the psychologist teaching in med, which wasn't previously in the medium prison, it was in the other block, the ancillary block down the bottom, they could move between the 2, but it looks like they can't. And also, if you set it to the same one, it says no teachers exist, even though you have multiple teachers. So we currently have 1 teacher, right? Staff, go down, bam, there we go. 1 psychologist in medium. So hire another one. Bam. There you go. Go over here. Programs. Reschedule all programs. No teacher. Edit the schedule. Then it works. I bet if we follow those psychologists in the morning, whenever they're working, it'll be all over the place. I think it will be, you know. Anyway, what we also want to do is set up some guard taser certifications, because we have received some new guards, so we do need to get that. There we are. So, we have the other dormitory done. We have patrols, we have all of the food there. Daily cash flow is still garbage, because we have this huge bank loan that I'm now going to decrease, because I could afford to do that. And we're now receiving 1,335 per day. That will probably go up, because we're still going to receive some more prisoners shortly. And we are also... Ooh, look at the hygiene need. We're also going to turn off one of the programs, which is the guard taser certification, once we've done the full... once we've done a full pass on that one. And we might go ahead and turn off some of the foundation education courses, but I don't want to. But it really depends on what happens to this prison here. This is our medium risk prison, normal risk prison. And you've seen what we've been able to accomplish previously with no big gang interference. Now, however, there's now 9 red gang members, and they will be recruited. And eventually, they will start making plays. Probably to remove the competition, and there's only 1 blue gang member. So, we'll have to see what happens there. Let's just double check. Informants, we've got some people coming in. No traits of any note. There we are. Right, we're going to leave it there. Next episode, we will continue on building this low risk. It's sort of fortuitous that we've had the gang member come in here, because if it wasn't for them, a lot of our tasks would simply be to build this, and we wouldn't really be looking at this anymore. But now, we really do have to do that. Look, another gang member. They're going to be recruiting multiple people a day. This cell block is going to dramatically change. This prison is going to dramatically change now. The grading, yeah, has already taken a hit. It's on 18% now. I think we're going to have to alter our policy. We're going to have to up our punishments. We're going to have to probably put armed guards in this area. It's interesting to see, though. It's interesting to see just what effect gangs can have in a facility like this. I don't know how much that mirrors real life. Like if you get, a prison running for a long time with no gang interference or very little, and then suddenly, boom, you've got loads, and how that changes the dynamics of it and the staffing. Oh, did you see that? Oh, they're all making a play. Let's see where they're probably going to sit in here, and they're going to try and take it over, I think. They will be able to take it over. See that? They're just standing around, and they'll just say, this is ours now. And once that's taken over, there you go. So they've now taken this over. Oh, and there's the lieutenant. See the lieutenant's in there now as well? We now have a lieutenant. So we've got 11 gang members, we've got the leader, and we got the, I think they're called the lieutenant, but there they are there. So this is now basically red territory. So other people can use it, they're just going to have to pay the red gang members to do that. The way we get that back is by shove a certain amount of guards in, there's a certain threshold. Or you can say evict, and when you evict them, it can kick off very easily, in fact generally does, but that's all a futurist problem. That's next episode. We'll have to do what we can. This has become a lot harder and probably more interesting, which is all good. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.